Welcome to TradeTheMBI.com. This is John. This report is for March 15th. Ides of March are upon us as we head near spring. Now we can see we ended up with a little bit of a DOC spread with the spike above the 13.5 with the orange here. That's going to indicate a little bit of weakness. Short-term buyers, though, complete reset here on the steel. So all in all, while we do have a negative signal, still not expecting a whole lot. I mean, obviously we have the Fed situation coming up. So far, we've got a nice reset, still holding well above the ABMs, and I think that just becomes the key factor. And as far as I've been concerned and pointing out, 2360 was our pivot number, and none of that's changed. NQ still looking just as strong as the other, and you can see it's nice. No real effort by short-term buyers to press the market, so it's not a whole lot of downside pressure. Again, every time the central bank jumps in, it just can't seem to get back up into the range above that 108 area, and that is just reflective of the concerns that exist within the Eurozone, and also U.S. growth prospects certainly putting a hamper on that. Well, can't complain about that sound. TLT. Again, Treasuries, this is an interesting one. We're still looking for that return down there. We're midway point to getting to the target range on it. I think if the Fed does hike, a lot of it's built into it, but still, the general trend point is definitely going to be downside because no question rates are going to be rising. And oil, even though it finished at the highs, still breaking down into new lows. All the way down at the base of this. In fact, I have to squeeze that just a little bit for a little more perspective as to what the full retrace would be all the way down. We're right at about, get a little bit of down range that you can get your outliers, but look at that sell-off. And it's just a huge supply, and that just bodes well. As much as they talk about a full economy and everything, there's still plenty of labor slack in the sense that you have these 90 million Americans unemployed, and we're going to find out how many of those actually, would take a job if they could find a job. Jobless claims only point out people who've been working who are being laid off. It doesn't point to the fact the number of new hires that can continue to grow. So there's a lot of potential there, but will things get moving? I mean, for now we've had the hype talk. We haven't really seen anything develop from a legislative standpoint. Yes, you're reducing some regulations, but not enough yet to make a dramatic difference. Gold still is under pressure. We haven't seen any change yet in the down move, so until we get a buy signal, just have to wait that one. Nothing you can do there. It should be a good opportunity though. So we've been fluctuating above, below the line. We had a nice run up, then we ended up with our short the other day, right at the end of trading as the new day started here, and then it started to cascade. I was talking about in the video expecting us to reach down to those lows, and then when we did, got stuck with that orange. And look at how beautiful that is. It stays right in the middle. We ended up with the dip right here, posted this one. That was the beginning of a buy, which was our first close above a long algo. Fluctuated a little bit, then made a nice peak, and then we ended up with another breakdown of the steel below the cyan. Just happened right about here, just about the peak of the move. It was just before it, and right at that 2360, so that was key. And then once you see the rising of the brown azure lines right here, this flatness stayed through there, and so it needed to reset, and it did. And then we got a nice little boost from it going into there. We're a little overbought right now, so I would expect these to fill back in the pre-market, but needless to say, not a bad run. No complaints with what we're seeing. I expect this volatility, though, is going to jump. This is the biggest move we've seen in a while, and I think we're going to start seeing an escalation of that. And I think we're going to get a lot more rocky activity. Of course, you still have the doom and gloom, and so the more you read about doom and gloom, I think that presents opportunities to the opposite side trade, and I think that's what you see is a lot of shorts getting activated, and so it becomes easy to make them cover in that sense. Whenever you have consensus in a direction, that's usually when things go counter to it, and that tends to be the case in general. So I would keep an eye out for that. As always, though, I'll be posting on the Skype chat. It's a little different now that time changed in America, hasn't done so in Europe. So a little bit closer to a normal day activity earlier afternoon. But for now, I would expect that this is going to carry through for just a little bit. We're about to see a steel dip, but you still have cyan under red here for now, so might see a little more pop before it finally comes back to fill in those. We'll just take it as it is. As always, though, if you look for me on Skype chat, trade well.